Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed to another edition of Titans Talk right here on the Mark Mosey Show, brought to you locally by the fine people with Eastern Florida State College Athletics. And joining me right now to put a wrap on the fall season with our great Titans Talk, it's my great friend Mike Parsons. Great job with athletic communications, the director of everything behind the scenes. Mike, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing just fine. It's the holidays, but I know we still have some basketball going on. So let's start there. Since you're the women's program, what's the latest on Titans basketball for the women's team?
Yeah, we got, just about a week left before we get a little break for Christmas, but not much. But the women's basketball team had a really good game against Gulf Coast State College, who's number 4 team in the country, played them really tough down the stretch. And now they're home tomorrow night, Wednesday night, against Hillsborough Community College. 5:30 p.m. game here at Titan Fieldhouse, and it's the start of conference season, which is always exciting when conference gets going.
Now, I've had Coach on, right, and he's giving me his thoughts, but you're on the other side where, you're there at the scores table, you're doing the stats, PA, everything. What do you think of the team's style of play, how they just approach the game? I want your thoughts now on it.
Yeah, it's actually a really fun brand because they run. When they get going, they run up and down the court. They hit a lot of 3-pointers. They have a really good nucleus. So they're all young. And so that's kind of been the start that you've seen. We're 4-5, and you think, oh, we might not be very good, but it's a really young nucleus that's growing together. And, the last 4 games we've seen Bruna De Silva really step up. She's double figures every game the last 4 games. So that is exciting to see. Milica Lazarevic, who that's a name for you. She is a scorer. Like she scores, she hits from threes, she drives, she does it all. But once they get going, Shadiah Santa Cruz is a spark plug, and it's a fun brand to watch. It's funny because at times, they get too fast. And so they got to slow it down a little bit at times where you'll get into cold spells because they're just flying. But when they're playing well, it is a fun brand to watch.
Well, especially it's interesting, new coach.
Yeah.
You have players from before, you have new ones. They're trying to gel together. Do you feel like, Mike, hey, you need patience and it takes time for a team to gel like that?
100%. And that's what, it's kind of scary when you say conference season's here because you'd like another week or 2. But at the same time, this team has gotten better as the season goes on. And so you just hope that continues. On the women's side, starting early, but they also play everybody 3 times. And so while it's awesome to get off to a good start, but if you were to drop one of these early ones, it's okay because you play them 2 more times. So, that is the good side of it. But, I think new coach has come in. He's brought his plan in. His plan seems to be working. The girls have taken it and really run with it. The ones that either MJ had recruited or were here last year have fit in really nicely to what he's doing. And so, it seems pretty seamless as it can be when you lose a legend like MJ Baker. As much as it can be, it seems like it has been.
Yeah, I talked to MJ the other day. She's doing great out there at her new job, Division II coach. It's
got
funny.
Her first conference win. It's all good now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So we're all rooting for MJ as well on her new coaching job. It's interesting. All the questions I just asked you for the women's program, I could pretty much ask you the same for the men's program. He's also a new coach. Let's start. All right, what is the latest schedule-wise? What's coming up for the Titans men?
Yeah, so the men actually leave tomorrow. They play Thursday and Friday in a tournament at Florida Southwestern. And so they have a couple games there, and then they're home Monday, Tuesday for a tournament here. So it's our second tournament we're hosting here. Florida Southwestern, ironically, is coming to be the other Florida team, and they'll play Gordon State and East Georgia State in Monday and Tuesday. So I'm excited. Lots of basketball. That's the wheelhouse. I love it. So it's going to be a fun couple days. And then, we get a little break for Christmas after that. So, we focus on basketball for another week and a half, and then we get a little break.
Okay, I will ask the same questions. Seriously, you've seen the team play for a couple weeks now. What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I love the men's team. Probably a little deeper than last year, which is good. But same kind of starting 5 has so much explosiveness. Sean Register Jr., he might end up being one of the best players we've had here, which we've had some great ones with Ahmed Ali and those kind of players, but Sean Register Jr. is so good on the court, and he's been the leader. Against Northwest Florida last week, he carried the load. I mean, he had 28 points in that game, and he's just so good, and he rebounds well. But, Tyson Wilson is a point guard. They got Joviel Acevedo Arroyo back. He's been there a couple years, and so he's a good feature for them. They have a lot of scoring. And so that's a fun team to watch because they're so good play-wise. Like, they call play and they run it so well that they're just wide open for shots and things, and it's just fun to watch. Zach Farrell has taken over, and him and the assistants that were there they were here last year with us too. That really has been about as seamless as it can be as far as a transition. Zach Farrell, who, as you know, he was here with Coach Schulman as an assistant back in the COVID days. So he already knew kind of the program and the insides of the thing. So he's just kind of carrying that legacy right into the new era, basically.
Yeah. And Coach, by the way, is the only person in a 100-mile radius that owns a pair of the SGA Converse shoes that you can't buy online.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. I think that's the first door that gets locked by security when they come around and lock doors at night.
Because if you've seen my conversation with Coach, where he has that connection with SGA, the current defending MVP champion. That's right. So it's really funny where one time in the video he picks them up. Yeah, here's the shoes right here. Yeah, I got it. It's a sneakerhead. I'm gonna have to get a pair of those.
Gotta get some of those.
and you bring up Jeremy from the standpoint, dude, his team keeps winning.
His team is unbelievable. Yeah. And to be able to say that his leader, Andrea Bukovic, was here and we saw him play for the year, it's just unbelievable to see what Andrea is doing there with him. But, he's got a couple of the others that have been here, and so it's always fun to watch. Afan was here. Luka Kolchik was here. And so, he still has a couple guys that were with us, but, man, he has taken off this year. I mean, I've been watching – almost all of his games because they've happened to be on days when we don't have games so far. And it's a fun team to watch.
I secretly, now everyone's going to know this, I'm like, should I surprise Jeremy? Like, should I get on a plane? See, this is the problem. We got to get to UT Martin from Melbourne, Florida. So I'll have to drive to the Orlando airport, park the car, get on a plane to Nashville.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. Then rent a car.
And drive
what, 2 hours?
I think it's, yeah.
And remember, we're the only part of the country not in a snowstorm right now.
Exactly.
So, oh my God. Like, how are we going to pull this off, buddy?
I know. We missed when he was in Pensacola. We had games here. Otherwise I was so there. But yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah. If he makes the tournament, we might have to go.
Oh, man.
Right? Yeah.
If he makes the tournament.
Yeah. Well, I know the Titans are trying to get back to Hutch. All right. Yeah. That's number one on the priority.
That is definitely number one on the priority list. This team definitely will be in the realm of doing that. Conference is as hard as ever, but we have teams that can do it, both men and women. We have teams that could get back there, and we're hoping they make that run and do that. Both sides very young as well. So, if we do fall short this year, next year we'll be right back there. But I think both sides this year, we're going to see really good runs from both sides and be right in the mix at the end.
You brought up Ahmed Ali. It was very interesting as your answer, where you said like some of the great players to play for Eastern Florida over the last 15 years. That was your number one.
No, I don't know if that's number one. That's the first one that came to mind.
I still love CJ Jackson.
Yeah.
And
Kareem
Bruton, who went to Memphis.
Yeah.
He might have been okay. I know Ahmed Ali had all these scoring, shooting threes.
He did.
Those, especially CJ and Corey, I think that was the best dangerous backcourt we ever had.
I'll tell you what, Kareem Bruton. I was at Broward College, and coach had talked me into going. I have to go watch this team, and so I go to Broward, and apologies to Broward. It's like they have the wall foam on the walls and stuff. And so I'm asking coach, why are we here? Why did you bring me here? But best I've ever seen Kareem. We had like 2 minutes left. We're down 4 or 6 points, and like Kareem scored the next 12. And it was just like, it was one of those moments where Kareem said, no, we're not losing this game. This is over, and just took over. And I was in amazement. I was like, wow. Because it was one of those few times that you've actually been somewhere and seen it. And you're like, holy cow. Like, he definitely just said, no, we're not losing this game. It was like the movies, we're not losing. I'm taking this over.
That team was like loaded, but that team, how far did they get? They didn't get to a state. I'm sorry. They got to Hutch, but
they got to Hutch, but they didn't. Yeah. No, it was the team after that. So Ahmed was on the team. No, actually, yeah, it was the team after that.
That got to the title.
They got to the final, yeah.
Yeah. And we never, I know this is bad. Jeff Carter's going to kill me for saying this, but we've never won the state championship.
Nope.
No, that's the hardest one.
It is the hardest one. Our conference, like, you could literally every year take 4 or 5 teams to Hutch, and it might be. There was one season that I'll never forget that there was at least 3, if not 4, of our teams that were in like the quarterfinals or semifinals, and it was one of the coolest things that I've ever seen as far as a Region 8, state kind of thing. Is we're all back in the back hallway because we played one after another.
Yeah.
And the coach would walk off the court and say, it's your turn. And like, do fist bump Jeremy and say, like, it's your turn. Let's go. Like, because we were all still alive. And it was like the quarterfinals of the national tournament. And I want to say that all 4 of us, like FSW was still alive. Pensacola was there. I want to say Northwest was there. And it was like, okay, you guys are up next. Let's go. Like, let's make this an all Final Four,
You're absolutely right. Hell, what's funny? We talk about the men's program, but I think the greatest basketball team ever at Eastern Florida was the women's team from a couple years ago that
won the state title.
Yeah, won it, and then I think went to the title game.
We went to the Final Four. Yeah.
That team, because that team didn't lose a game for 3 months.
No.
Yeah.
No, that women's side, that was definitely the best team. I mean, that team was loaded from top to bottom. That was one of MJ's best.
Okay, wait. Just want to clarify that team. I know MJ Baker's watching this. That team, it got to the Final Four.
Yep.
It didn't get to the title game.
Not to the title. Yep. Made it the Final Four.
All right. Well, we got some big aspirations for this postseason.
I mean,
yeah. Come on.
Those are both huge things. Yeah. The state title is the only one we've ever won in women's basketball. So that would be amazing if we could even be in the final, because it's so hard. That state tournament, if you're a basketball junkie, going to Northwest Florida for that state tournament might be one of the best tournaments you could actually go to. I mean, it is some of the best basketball players, best teams, and the games are just ridiculous game after game. It is so much fun.
You're absolutely right. We're here with Mike Parsons, so that's the key. Men's and women's basketball coming up the next couple of days before the Christmas break. Get out there to the Titan Field House. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Then, all right, so we'll have Christmas.
Yep.
And then coming up in January, what sports are going to be coming up?
Yeah, so, basketball will be getting into the heat of their season, but then baseball, softball, tennis, golf all start for the spring season for their championship season. So very excited. Softball's loaded. Can't wait for you to talk to Andrew about softball. That team, he's so good. And Avery Velasquez is back after being an All-American last year, and he's got a good group. He's going to be very tough to beat. Mitch Gallagher takes over the men's baseball team, and I'll break a little bit of news in that Brody Kelly, you can see the video this week. We're posting it, but he's signed to the University of Miami. Nice. And so one of our pitchers is going to Miami, which that's amazing to start our season. So we're excited to see where baseball goes this year. Men's tennis is
just want to clarify for everyone. Is he playing? Is he going to play for the Titans then?
So yes, he's here this spring, but he's already committed next year to go to the University of Miami.
That is nice. And what were you going to say about tennis?
So men's tennis is absolutely loaded. They're almost all back from last year where they made the run in the national tournament. So that should be really exciting as well. And golf, they just keep reloading in golf. So high expectations, should be a fun spring.
That is really cool. And then when are you going to be starting esports so I can join the team?
Yeah. What's the go-to? What's the game right now?
I have decided it'll never happen, but in my fantasies, I'm going to go to Evo, where you go the fighting game championships in Tokyo, Japan.
Yes.
So I'm going to need Eastern Florida to create the esports team so then I can train. That's right.
Definitely.
That's what I'm going to do. Don't you feel like in the future you will have pickleball and you'll have esports as actual scholarship programs for, teams?
I could actually see it. Yes. Esports, there are a lot of teams that have it. So I could see, and a couple computers, you're good to go, right? Just what we're doing right now is all you need, and we're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go, right? And, I swear you know this. I'll let you go. So, like, at my complex, they had tennis. They had a big tennis court. It's beautiful. They got rid of it. They put the pickleball. What is happening?
So there are more people now on it than there were before?
I don't know. I'm too busy talking to you. So
have you ever played?
I have never tried it.
Me neither. Yeah.
All right, you and me will be the team. That's what it is.
We'll be horrible.
Horrible. All right, before I let you go, what's the schedule for men's and women's basketball, buddy?
Yep. So Wednesday night, 5:30 p.m. at Titan Fieldhouse is the women's basketball conference opener against Hillsborough.
Nice.
And then Monday and Tuesday, the men's basketball hosts the tournament. 4 p.m. we play on Monday. 6 p.m. Florida Southwestern plays. And then Tuesday, Florida Southwestern plays at 2. We play at 4.
Great stuff. Mike, thank you so much for your help as always, and have a great holidays with your family, and go Titans.
Go Titans. Have a good Christmas.